Welcome to Any Button Podcast, the podcast brought to you by the co-creators? Founders? I feel bad saying that because Jono and Axton found it as well.
That's why we're co-founders. We all found it. It's not just the founder.
Yeah, okay. Of Double Dash Jump. That's the little image that you're looking at there.
Yeah.
It's Double Dash Jump. It's always like that.
We're your hosts. I'm Ben. This should be Matt. How are you today?
I'm good. Thank you for asking. Thank you for asking. That's good. Alrighty. It's time for our fan favorite segment. What's it called?
This week we've been in games we've been playing.
That's it.
That's it.
That's the title.
That's the whole podcast.
That's it.
No, it's not.
Thank you.
No.
Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. So what have you been playing?
I've been suckered back in by Overwatch because it's a new event and I want all the skins and it's all the dance emotes. They have dance emotes now.
Yeah, I've seen a GIF of someone made Roadhog do Trace's Charleston dance.
That was awesome. Yeah, all the dances are references, like references to animes, to I think Zarya's is like 80s like workout routine.
Well, let's get physical.
Yeah, there's all sorts of great things. But there's too many, and if I can watch Muzak buy 200 loot boxes and still not get everything, it's kind of like, well, I'm not going to buy them now.
No, that's not great. That's the second time Blizzard's kind of been...
Well, this is the first event where it's like, oh, here's 100 new stuff, 100 new cosmetic items, but are all actual items that people want, not just sprays and voice lines.
Yeah. Just a voice line. There you go. You're welcome. Have 4 voice lines from this box that you're never going to use on the characters you never use ever.
Yeah, pretty much. Or the spray, which is a card, like from a deck of cards. Why would I want to spray that anywhere?
Nice. Classic. So, that it? Anything else? Just Overwatch?
Just Overwatch.
That's it.
And Magikarp Jump.
Magikarp Jump.
Which came out this weekend.
I need to download it. I haven't downloaded it yet.
So good.
I thought it was just like... I thought it was Flappy Bird. And then we're just at KFC. And I'm like, this is way more than Flappy Bird already. Like, I can see from you tap. This is way more than Flappy Bird.
You can train them. You get to feed them. They have... I had one which had like a skeleton like outline on it. So cool.
That's called starvation.
No. That was its pattern. It has different patterns.
I thought you were saying like you could see its rib cage and it's like you need to feed it more.
No.
Although, how good would like Nintendo Magikarp be instead of Nintendogs? Nintendo Magikarp, even though that doesn't make any sense at all.
That would be fun.
Okay. For me, I have. I'll continue on. So, finished up Birthdays at the Beginning. Finally made humans, but there's still no frogs or birds. So I just kind of nuked the whole planet and starting fresh. Hopefully I can get them all this time.
Hopefully.
But otherwise I'm still on the alien high. And so I got put back in Alien Isolation, played it again. Amazing game, except for the part where I pee myself like every time.
I haven't played it. I watched other people play it.
You should play it. It's a pretty well made game.
Yeah, I heard that.
There you go. You're still not going to play it.
Probably not. I don't have money.
Money? Well, didn't we get 1 cent from this?
No, I think that was from everything, and we didn't actually get it. It's just like estimated revenue.
Yeah. Okay.
Before we get into news, I'm going to do something that fits in with the spirit of the community we're trying to build, but it's not really in the scope of what we cover. Normally, because this isn't movie stuff, would leave that to Mono. But we're going to give a shout out to Zack and Deborah Snyder, known for their work on movies like Man of Steel and Batman vs Superman. This week, Zack came out saying that he's stepping down from the Justice League movie to help him and his family cope with the suicide of their daughter Autumn, who committed suicide in March.
Yeah.
We send our condolences to them and good karma their way. We wish them all the best in the future.
Yeah,
but back to a regular spiel.
Yeah, let's kind of like get the mood back up a bit.
So we're just over 2 weeks away from the E3 press conferences. And the list hasn't really changed that we covered a couple of weeks ago.
Except for
the announcement that from Rockstar that Red Dead Redemption isn't coming to E3 in any shape or form. This is coming after the announcement that the game would actually be delayed until next year.
So a lot of people were saying, Red Dead 2 is already going to be Game of the Year this year. No, it's not, because it's not coming out. Maybe next year.
That being said, you can still check out our coverage of that list in... I think we'll link it in the description below, or we'll put something on the screen. Something there. In a quick news update, the developer IO Interactive posted on Twitter earlier this week that they've made some changes to their company, and sadly that those changes meant that they had to let some people go. How many staff were laid off is unknown, and what's happening with IO Interaction after they got put up for sale from Square Enix is still unknown. Here at Double Dash, we hope that everyone laid off can find jobs quickly and they have good luck.
Yeah. I mean, Hitman and Ken Lynch, they weren't the most amazing games, but they were technically very good games, so hopefully they can find their way themselves.
Hitman that wrapped up last year with that whole season, episodic gaming, whatever, that got highly reviewed, so hopefully someone picks that up. A lot of people were looking forward to Season 2.
Well, not anymore.
Maybe.
But I think it would be one of those good things to have on the CV, whereas, there's other companies who've broken down and you just want to, let's not put that on there.
Yeah.
What else we got? We got a big announcement, kind of. Big controversy from it. Big controversy, yeah. I think it's a Far Cry 5.
Yeah.
Finally announced, because it went from 4 to Primal.
Yeah. And honestly, I don't know what we can say here that hasn't been said on every other news site and YouTube channel that covers games like we do, but so we'll just try and summarize it as best as we can. The new Far Cry game, which is set in Montana in America,
which is the first non-fictional place in the Far Cry series.
Well, Hope County, where its base is fictional, but the overall, and it's the first time in America as well.
Oh yeah.
Normally it's some remote region.
First one was Random Island. Second was somewhere in Africa. Third was an island again. Fourth was somewhere in Nepal.
I think so.
And then now we've got America.
The picture first teased by Ubisoft got a lot of attention from lots of different people thinking so many different things. I can't even remember all of them. I barely can remember one because I was just reading so many different things that people were upset about. Just them thinking that they're going to be attacking Americans and this, that, and the other, thinking that we're going to be taking on rednecks, and then it's a whole mess.
I think they've purposely gone political with this.
I think so.
Yeah.
Anyway, most of those people seem to be sated after Ubisoft came out a couple of days ago with more information about the story and who you'll be fighting. The story revolves around you, the protagonist, which has character customization, so you can make it look like yourself, or Taylor Swift, if that's what you're into. That would be fun.
Apparently, it's not... We don't have this in our notes, but apparently you play as a transgender female. I think that's... And a Muslim.
I had no... This is the first I've heard.
That's what I've read. There was a name that I couldn't pronounce, but it ended with Muhammad. I don't know if that was a joke or something, but that's why I think they were really trying to go as kind of... They're trying to make a statement on how America's kind of hating on these people.
Yep. So the protagonist coming to Hope County to find it's been taken over by an extremist cult preparing for the end of the world, which is sort of this cult's thing, is the end of the world is coming. So they're preying on the weak-minded and those who have fallen into despair while torturing and trying to run everyone else out of the region who's obviously stable-minded or not
Yeah.
an absolute lunatic. I think there's some Americans, I haven't really seen it from people outside of America, that are still like upset and unsure with the premise of this game, because you are in America, it is seemingly normal people apart from the fact that they're in a cult, you know, and the cult is, I think, some sort of Christian extremism. So
you know, the main antagonist says things like "I am your father" kind of thing, like priest, father Ted.
So I can understand why they're apprehensive about, like, oh, we're killing people like me, set in the South, gun-loving, sort of Christian-loving people. I can't really sympathize or empathize with that, because, I mean, when you've got games like GTA where you're running around killing everyone.
Yeah, everyone.
And then you look at all the other previous Far Cry games, or just any other game, you know, going to kill zombies, Nazis, people of color.
Yeah.
Like, I find when you can justify killing one set of people over another set of people, then it's like, well, you're still killing people. I can see how it hits home a little bit more, but the justification for you killing them is still sort of a little bit funny to me.
Well, I'm going to kind of scroll down a little bit. I've made a little thing. So the, you know, previous games, the Polynesians and Africans are probably slaves under their leader. Like, they probably don't have a choice. And you're killing them. Like, all the games, well, I feel like one definitely not. One had mutants in it, so that one is kind of its own thing. But the games have always kind of been like a statement. Like, you've got African warfare, then you had modern day pirates, etc., etc. Like, this is probably, I think, these Christian cultists kind of thing. I say Christian loosely. We don't even know. They might not even believe in a god. I
think they believe in a father that's to save them from doomsday. But yeah. I don't know if that's straight up Christian, or I'm not even sure. It's information we've got is so little, and there's so many people extrapolating it and taking it as their own thing. It's really hard to filter through at the moment.
But you see in the trailer, you see some of these cultists dragging someone and like killing them. And so you know that these guys are not innocent. But then, they're white and they're God-fearing. So then that's... I don't know. I feel a bit like, really? Come on, guys. It's...
You play GTA. You kill innocent pedestrians all over the street.
I feel the Trump. I feel the Trump on me. Get it away.
So... YouTuber Boogie2988 made a great point that I like, that games are meant to challenge us. I'm kind of taking that and running with it and making my own thing now. But the challenge doesn't have to be just physically with reaction times and hand-eye coordination to play games. And it doesn't even have to be like a mental challenge in regards to like logic puzzles and riddles and trying to figure out where you have to go next, or how you beat the water maze or whatever. But you can also challenge your ideas about the world around us and what we take as norm. And so, for example, if we have a bad guy in a game who isn't just straight up cartoonishly evil, but a real person who has fair and reasonable justifications for what he's done, therefore may be making the decisions in your gameplay up to that point more questionable than his sort of.
What's that? There's like there's a series of games that display, killing people and I can't, for the life of me, I cannot remember the name of it. Maybe I should do some research and have it written here. But you see the after effects of war and what it does, and I'm actually a bit angry that people are thinking that Far Cry 5 is so controversial purely because they're Americans. Like, that's the point. And the point is that all war is bad.
Yeah. So in the next article, we got some good news and bad news for Xbox
all right,
owners.
let's cheer it up.
Yeah.
Let's make this a happy episode, please.
Good news is the Xbox Pass, which we've discussed quite extensively here on the Any Button podcast. The subscription service, which gives you a range of Xbox One and 360 games to download straight to your console and play whenever, is finally out for gold members.
Happy.
I don't have an Xbox.
No, me neither. I'm just happy. This is the step in the right direction, I think.
Absolutely. But some bad news. Microsoft has filed a lawsuit against Chinese company iGSKY for fraud and racketeering charges, which amount to over $2 million. Why? Because the company in question has been hacking into Xbox Live accounts using the associated credit cards to buy goods and then charging someone else cheaper. So they're basically credit card frauding. The example which was used by the Microsoft investigation team in this lawsuit is they went to iGSKY, they bought, I think it was 11,000 FIFA points, which in the real world on like the Microsoft Live Store and PSN cost about $130 American dollars.
Yep.
They bought it on iGSKY for $60, and then they could actually track it, and so they received an email with login information for a different account, which seemingly was from iGSKY, saying, here's the points, use these points to buy what you want, but don't use this as your main account. So that was kind of dodgy, getting a whole account.
Yeah.
But then they could see this person would then call up and be like, hey, I've been locked out of my account and I've had charges on my credit card for something that I didn't buy, and Microsoft could track that. So the login information was from another person's account who was hacked, and they had the full amount, which was roughly $130, charged to their credit card and then locked out of their account. This lawsuit claims that it's been going on since 2015.
All right.
So 2 years and over $2 million worth of refunds and other account stuff that Microsoft's had to deal with. I don't know why they've left it so long. I don't know if I don't have an Xbox account, so I don't know if they pushed out a mandatory password change for everyone. But that's insane to me.
Well, I think the main thing is that with the way that credit cards and stuff work these days is all the people who have lost money would have gotten it back.
But that would have been on Microsoft to pay that back.
Yeah, and Microsoft would have had to refund that. And that's why Microsoft has finally said, you know what, this like, we can't keep just refunding people. We have to figure out what's going on.
Well, they've been looking into this since last year, and they've found that this has been done.
That's it. What are they suing them for? It's fraud, $2 million. So it took $2 million roughly before Microsoft.
I think
that's it. I'm tired.
That's just for everyone. That's not including all the damages and all the extra work that they've had to be that they're claiming on top of that, and then they'll probably get them to pay for the lawsuit, which probably won't happen because they're in a Chinese company and they're not regulated by US law. It becomes messy, and Microsoft will probably never see a dime, but I guess it's out there now that iGSKY is dodgy, as if you probably didn't realize that when you first logged on and saw that they're charging under half of what everyone else is charging.
I remember I was looking up, I was like, Overwatch is still pretty expensive, and I want Cousin Dale to have it, and so that we could play together, and so I go online, cheap Overwatch, and then it's like about half price, and we will give you an account, and it's like, no, that's very dodgy. So so make sure you change your passwords and be smart when posting personal info online. Definitely, always.
And I don't know if Microsoft has it, but PSN has it. It's called two-step verification, in which that every time you log on to a new thing or you try and purchase something, they send a verification code to your phone.
Yeah, two-step verification always. It's great. Like Steam has that. I think it should be a necessity in this day and age. Everybody has a phone. If it's not a smartphone, then it's like you can still text.
Yeah,
and that's what most.
Or you can at least receive texts.
Yeah, and that's what most two-step things are these days. So not only do they have to hack your account, they have to physically have your phone. It's just a whole other layer.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's almost it. To wrap up, what does this say? Monster Hunter Double Cross is coming out for the Switch! There's nothing else to say, because that's it! It wins! The Switch wins! It's the best ever! God bless America! Yeah.
I don't know if they can continue with that series. I mean, you try Googling Monster Hunter XXX and God knows what you'll get. And I guess that's where I think I'll leave this week's podcast. As always, thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed this episode. If we missed a piece of news that you would like us to cover, put it in the comments below. We'll check it out and talk about it next week. Remember, Facebook is where we post each and every all our updates each and every week, and so go there to go see new episodes first. Check me out on Twitter. I'm at BMW3ING. And if you're not a social media person, well, the subscribe button and the bell is down below. Matt's gone. I don't know where I'm going with this anymore. I've run out of notes. That's a bit.
I have nothing else to do with this. I just saw that you were wearing glasses. I have glasses.
That's a bit.
This is a bit. Mine are cheap barley ones, so I can just do that.